the goal is still enlightenment.
Yes.
The dharma or the path is still full of Buddha's teachings.
Yes. So the road is the same. Like if you want to go from here to Andheri, the road is the same. But maybe if I use skillful means, I may take a Ferrari, which is faster. You're not very skillful, so you will take an auto. Maybe the next person will go on a bicycle. So who will reach fastest? If the road is empty, I will reach the fastest. So that is the basic idea. You're skillful and you're not very ashamed to use a loud V12 Ferrari and, consuming a lot of fuel. Your intention is that you see life as a very precious commodity, very precious opportunity to reach your goal as fast as you can, because next life you have no idea where the karmic wind will take you. I mean, you can prepare yourself, but not entirely, it's up to you. So you're not sure. Even though you try your best in this life to prepare yourself for your next life, you try to give it a direction, but you don't know whether the conditions will be favorable or not.
Okay. I'm trying to find words to describe my own understanding of Vajrayana Buddhism. I have experienced it in Dharamshala a little bit. I've experienced it through conversations with you. For me, what speaks to me a lot, again, because I'm from a Hindu background, I'm obsessed with the dharma that Buddha taught the world about. In fact, I have a friend of mine, Acharya Prashant. I think he's one of the most well-read people when it comes to Hindu scriptures. And he had said this on a podcast. He had said that Buddhism is the essence of the Vedas as well. So the absolute way of life that's described in the Vedas is embodied in Buddhist teachings anyway. I think that one can only benefit, irrespective of what faith they belong to. I think one can only benefit from understanding Buddhism more deeply.
Yes.
As a Hindu, I've tried understanding Vajrayana Buddhism much more deeply. I've tried reading about the deities especially, because we have deity culture in Hindu lore as well. We have mantras here as well. How do you explain a mantra to a Western audience? That's my first question. And secondly, based on what you just said about the Himalayan Buddhist deities, I believe that they are manifestations of certain good thoughts. Like the manifestation of compassion is Avalokiteshvara. Similarly, Tara would be?
Activity.
Okay.
Yes. Wisdom, Manjushri.
Got it. Now the thing is, these are higher beings, supernatural beings. Our human brains, our biology is not capable of perceiving them because we're not evolved yet.
Yes.
But you can put yourself on the path of evolution and eventually you will start perceiving them as well. If you get to a point of enlightenment, you have the opportunity to combine with their consciousness.
Yes. Yes. Then you don't separate, you see no separation between yourself and these deities or whatever you want to call them. You see them as qualities of the true nature of your mind. So the compassionate quality of the true nature of your mind would be Avalokiteshvara. The wisdom quality of the true nature of your mind would be Manjushri. Power quality aspect of the true nature of your mind would be Vajrapani. Activity aspect of the true nature of your mind would be Tara. So you would see that way. But along the path, you may see them as deities that appear to you in your dreams, in your meditation. They may guide you, but essentially they're not separate from you. They've always been a part of you. So in the higher you go in spirituality, especially in Buddhism, you see a lot of paradoxes. So it's a bit confusing. It is sometimes, it appears to be one way, but then it's not. So there are lots of paradoxes in higher levels of spirituality. Another thing about evolution would be like an ant, a small ant cannot understand how the Large Hadron Collider functions. Particle acceleration, Higgs boson, quantum computing. You cannot teach to an ant. To an ant, the world is very abstract. It just knows how to take care of course, it's a very complex creature. It works in its own community, takes care of its nest, very complex, but it cannot construct a bridge. It cannot fly a rocket to the moon. It will not understand, even though the rocket exists on the same planet that the ant is busy building its nest. It may feel the vibration of the rocket taking off. but still it has no understanding where the rocket is going, what its purpose is, or how does it function. So from our perspective, we are a little bit like the ants. That's a very crude metaphor, but we are a little bit like the ants. These things appear. They can be loud. They can be very ferocious sometimes.
You're talking about the deities.
Yes, the manifestations. So yeah, I mean, it can be very confusing sometimes, but it'll take us time to understand, to evolve, so that we can fully comprehend what these are. And then, so that's one thing. Mantras. To the general audience who don't have any idea about mantras, mantra in Sanskrit, it's a Sanskrit word, mantra. And in Bodhi, it is translated as, or in English, protection of the mind. To protect the mind. So we chant mantras to protect our minds from bad emotions, bad thoughts, negative emotions.
It's medicine
thoughts.
for your internal world.
Yes. It's quite simply put. So chanting, for example, Avalokiteshwar, Chinrizik, Buddha of Compassion, it's a very good antidote for anger.
Om Mani Mani.
Om Mani Padme Hum, yeah. So if you are facing anger issues, what I suggest people, don't react. Okay, don't react immediately. Take a deep breath and just close your eyes and just chant Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, internally. You can chant it verbally, you can chant it like a meditation, but chant it. Just the chanting, utterance of the mantra, the frequency it carries, the connection it has to an aspect of the true nature of your mind, it has that power to calm you in a very effective way. So you can chant Om Mani Padme Hum when you're feeling a little bit troubled, angry. If you want to grow your wisdom, you can chant the mantra of Manjushri, Om Ara Pachana Di. Om Ara Pachana Di. It's very good for your wisdom, especially when you wake up in the morning at dawn and you chant the mantra Om Ara Pachana Di 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 Di. So we usually chant the last syllable multiple times. Om Ara Pachana Di 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 Di. Om Ara Pachana Di 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 Di. Om Ara Pachana Di 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 Di. Om Ara Pachana Di 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 Di. Yeah, you can look more into the mantras, and they help. I don't know how it happens. It unlocks something in your consciousness, helps you grow more in terms of your wisdom, so that the world makes more sense to you.
Is there a certain time you're supposed to chant a mantra for?
Not really. No, you can chant it anytime you want. Mantras are timeless, universal. So you can chant them anytime you want.
How much time should you give your practice ideally?
It depends on you. But what I usually suggest to people who are new to meditation and spirituality or chanting mantras, you don't do it for like very long duration because you're not used to it. It's like working out. Let's say today is your chest day. You can't do chest for like 3 hours. You will die. But if you're like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronnie Coleman, you can do it for 2-3 hours and they can lift very heavy. So you're not trained to do that. So I suggest you do it for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Take a short break, go to the washroom, stretch your legs a little bit, couple of minutes, come back, again sit down. But when you do it with totality. You don't move here and there. You don't watch your phone. You don't check your, feed. Nothing. You don't respond to anything. You're completely locked in. So it's good to put your phone on airplane mode, not even DND. Airplane mode, completely, maybe preferably in the next room, quiet place. Eventually, you'll be able to do it in very noisy situations. You can do it in the park, in the traffic, at the airport. So I do it all the time, whenever I feel like it. So because I can tune into it because I'm used to it now. In the same way that Ronnie Coleman and Arnold Schwarzenegger will be able to bench press at the airport, in the bus station, wherever they are, they can find a workout. So likewise, I can do it wherever you can, but I've done it for many years. So initially you should do it in short durations, multiple times. 10 minutes, take a break, 10 minutes, take a break, 10 minutes, take a break. So you get used to it. Then you can slowly increase the duration.
Let's try understanding mantra practice more deeply. I think it's a very doable act for people all over the world if they're willing to actually dive into the world of mantras and practice it. There's a lot of benefit that they can experientially see. Even a week of mantra chanting, but putting your own emotional self into that mantra chanting session can create magic in your life. Okay. I know that there's multiple deities in the world of Vajrayana Buddhism. Matara. Okay. I know that there's multiple deities in the world of Vajrayana Buddhism. Matara, Avalokiteshwar. We can
Manjushri. Yeah,
Chakra
so,
Sambhara.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes when I am having to explain Hindu Tantra to some of my Western friends, I tell them that, see, the ultimate goal is enlightenment, moksha, nirvana. There's multiple pathways to that goal. The simple, slowest pathway is be a good person.
Yes.
Do what's good in the world. Purify your mind, purify your heart, purify your actions. If you want to do it faster, perhaps meditate.
Yes.
And another way of doing it even faster is go about tantric practices.
Yes.
Now, Tantra includes mantras as its very core aspect.
Yes.
And then there's physical objects within your practice. These are called yantras.
Yes.
The correct technical guided usage of yantras and mantras leads you to that point of enlightenment, perhaps faster than even simple meditation.
You have a very good understanding. Yes.
Now, when we speak about deities within this whole process, they are higher beings that assist you on that journey.
Yes.
But every time you are using a particular mantra associated with a deity, it will definitely have impacts on your own reality, on your own internal world as well. So in my eyes, I feel like when you go about deity-based mantras, you're performing chemistry and chemical experiments with reality. That's how I look at it in my mind. Every mantra bends your reality a little bit. Every mantra session bends your reality even more. How do you know which deities to incorporate into your practice? And how do you even choose the deity that's right for you? Or do you have to just choose one and hang on to it?
Very good question. See, we are human beings. We have preferences. We have favorites. Like our favorite club is Manchester United. My favorite player is Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, even though our club is doing really bad right now, I still like him a lot. Even though we have 11 players, they don't perform very well all the time. Even Bruno doesn't perform well all the time. But I like him he's my choice. I like the way he works hard. I know he can be a bit annoying to some people, but that's his personality. That's the passion he brings. So he stands out. Even though you need 11 players to win a game, Bruno cannot win it alone. In the same way, on the spiritual path, there's so many deities. You need all their assistance as much as you can because you are completely powerless right now spiritually. You need the power, you need the help of higher beings, evolved beings who possibly live in a very different dimension, but they can access your dimension at certain times with certain practices. That's why we do those practices. We chant the mantras while performing certain rituals, tantra, where we have lots of objects, yantra. Then you kind of call them from their dimension into our dimension, and then you have an interaction. In the same way that you can go to Old Trafford and watch the game live. You have to buy a ticket, you have to wait for your turn, blah, blah, blah. You can also watch it on TV, but it's not the same thing. But then you need 11 players. So you need the help of all the deities you can. But obviously as human beings, you have a certain connection to somebody. So then you may have a preference for a deity, or you may feel very close to a certain deity for no reason. Me, when I was young, I have been practicing Matara since I can remember. Every day at 5 o'clock in the morning in my small monastery in Rivalsar, Himachal Pradesh, Jigar Gompa, I would wake up at the first gong. I would wash my face until the gong is finished. I would go to the temple with all the monks and we would do Tara's practice. So that's all I can remember. So I have this natural connection to Matara. My favorite color is green, especially dark green, which happens to the color of Tara, the main Tara. There are 21 different Taras, but the main Tara is green.
Why are there 21 different Taras?
I mean, no obvious reason, frankly speaking. But there are different manifestations of Tara to assist beings. Yeah, I don't exactly know. There's no obvious reason why there are 21 aspects of Tara. But the main Tara is green Tara. So I love green color. I'm close to Tara. But then I also practice Om Mani Padme Hum, Avalokiteshwar. I feel very close to Avalokiteshwar also. Manjushri, obviously, when I was young, Om Mara Pasana, I chant his mantra. I read his scripture, Manjushri Namasangiti. That's the word, the scripture. Very good to grow your wisdom, your mind. Sometimes you prefer a deity and then you practice it, or sometimes you feel just naturally connected and then you practice it. It depends. So you can also ask yourself, after you get some introduction to the different deities in Buddhism, in Vajrayana Buddhism especially, and then you look at them and you chant the mantras, you just feel which one is vibing with you. You can stick to that. But don't constrain yourself just to that. After practicing, after getting a good foothold, get teachings of the different deities. You need to receive the abhishek. You need to receive the empowerment of the deity. You can't just, you can chant the mantra of the internet in your room, but it's doesn't have the same effect as receiving the abhishek, the introduction of body, speech and mind introduction with the deity. Once you receive the abhishek, it is like pouring water into water.
How do you receive it?
You have to approach a guru, a qualified guru. Most of the times the gurus give it in the public, which are permissible to be given to the public. They give it in the public. So in Ladakh, I give a lot of empowerments at the end of a retreat to bless the people so that people can chant, practice more effectively. I've given it multiple times. And of course, Guruji also gives, So it is given to a public in a public setting, and people receive the body, speech, and basically it's more than that. Abhishek, you are basically getting the body, speech and mind of a deity literally being poured into your body, speech and mind, water and water. So then you won't be able to tell which water is from Ladakh, which water is from Mumbai. That is the whole idea. So once you become one with the deity, you have to literally brainwash yourself, thinking that I am Tara. I feel like Tara. Whatever I say is Tara. Then you see your abode as Tara's abode. This is what we call pure view. Very difficult. And you have to see everybody as Tara also, as Avalokiteshwar, which is impossible, especially when somebody tries to harm you. You see them as evils and you don't see them as bodhisattvas. You don't see them as deities. But that's the idea. And that's what you should endeavor to visualize, to practice. Very tough. But you can start by basically chanting the mantra, receiving the abhishek, empowerment, chanting the mantra, learning how to visualize, and then getting the instruction for a tantra so that you can practice in a group, or then eventually you can practice it yourself.
So the abhishek that you give is for the Tara mantra?
Yeah, I give Taras, which I received from my own guru, His Holiness. I received the empowerments of Tara, Avalokiteshwar, many different bodhisattvas. So I practice them. Then as a Rinpoche, I am, you can say, allowed to give to other people also. Yeah.
I have many more questions, but I'm going to pause this and request you to chant the Tara mantra for us. Because for anyone listening to you for the first time, I just want them to experience the energy in their own earphones or in their own rooms or cars, wherever they're listening to this podcast. I know I've asked you to do this before on the show, and I would direct audiences to our old episodes as well. But I will ask you to repeat the Tara mantra once for us.
Om Dare Do Dare Dare So Dare Do Dare Dure Soha Om Dare Du 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 Dare Dure Soha. Thank you.
You said that Tara is the manifestation of activity. Is that execution upon creativity?
Yeah, you can also say that. Creativity, the technical definition would be enlightening activity, not mundane activity, enlightening activity, activity that propels you and all beings towards enlightenment. So, Tara is the manifestation of enlightening activity. That's what the green also represents. I mean, I can't say that if you pray to Tara, you'll become very active, but I've honestly felt my activities growing the more I practice Tara, my work increasing, my reach expanding. You know, you just grow a lot in terms of your activities. So whether it's mundane activities or spiritual activities, you literally grow a lot. So those people who feel stuck, who are not able to reach growth, I would suggest maybe try chanting Tara mantra. Not just with a sense of, greed.
Transaction.
Exactly. Not a transactional one that I will chant so and so mantra, I want to become active, but just chant it and pay attention to the activities. I'm sure your activities will grow a lot.
When you break down the mantra, Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re
Soha.
Soha.
Yeah. So
each syllable has a meaning.
Yes, and it's beautiful. It's basically not Om. When in English, when we write it wrongly. We write it OM. It actually should be written AUM. Aum. Auma. It is body, speech, and mind. In Buddhism, we call it the three doors. Teen darwaze, three doors. Basically, door is where something comes in and goes out. A door, body, speech, and mind is through something. You experience something physical, something verbal, something mental, or you perform something physical, something verbal, or something mental. It's like a door. With my body, speech, and mind, that's all you have as a person, as a being. Aum, Tare. Tare means swift, fast. So Tara, if you look at her painting, she's sitting not exactly cross-legged. If you look at Buddha and any other, they sit in a very strict cross-legged position. We call it Padmasan. Some cases we call it Vajrasan. Very stable. That denotes stability. Yeah, that shows how stable their meditation is, their enlightenment. Tara, she sits one leg like this and one leg extended. So Om Tare. Tare is represented by her right leg. That she's swift, like a mother. Have you ever noticed a mother eating in a restaurant or in a house? She is eating. Her child is there also eating. But the mother always has her eyes on the child and is ready to jump out of her seat to help the child. The mother will never be completely relaxed. So Tara is basically motherhood in its essence. Yeah, it's so beautiful. So like a mother, she's swift, immediate, like our own mothers. You ask them for something, they will not delay. They will give you immediately. You want roti, you want dal, you want love, you want money, whatever you want, they will give it to you immediately. That is the essence of mother. So Tare is represented by Tara's right leg, which is extended, so that she's ready to jump out of her throne to help anyone who calls to her. Tutare. Tutare is represented by her left hand. Yeah. Tutare signifies protection. Like a mother, she is very protective of her children. Doesn't matter whether she is physically capable or not. She will fight till the last breath and she will protect her child or children. So that's protection, left hand. Right hand, Om Tare Tu Tare Ture. Right hand is resting on her knee. Right knee denotes giving mudra. Mother always gives. She's never stingy. She will take out of her own mouth, her own pocket, and she will provide for her children. She will not eat, but she will provide for her children, whatever the child wishes. So that's denoted by her right hand. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture. Swaha is I bow down with my body, speech, and mind. Om Swaha. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Swaha. With my body, speech, and mind, I bow down to the essence of motherhood, to Ma Tara, who is swift, who is protective, and who is giving. So nice.
feel like asking you to break down some more mantras
Okay,
in
I
this
can.
manner. There's a mantra, I don't know which deity it belongs to. I actually heard it on an audio track by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. It's something like Om Mani Mani Ha Mane Sa.
Om Muni Muni Mahamune Swaha. He is
Can you say it again?
Om Muni Muni Mahamune Swaha. He is Muni. Muni is Lord Buddha. Yeah, we call him Muni, the saint. So he's this is a mantra that shows reverence to Gautam Buddha. Yeah, Om Muni Muni Mahamune Swaha. So it's basically showing your reference to Muni, the great Muni, Mahamuni Swaha. Very similar meaning to Tara, that you pay your reverence to such a Tara, swift, protective, giving. So you're paying your reverence to the great Muni, the Muni, Lord Buddha. So this is a particular mantra of Buddha Shakyamuni. Yeah.
Since you've sat in this chair today, this is the third recording of the day. I've wanted to bring up Chakra Samvara a lot. It's been coming up in my mind. I've not brought it up until now.
Okay.
Chakra Samvara is also related to Kailash Parbat.
Yes. We consider it the abode of Chakra Samvara, Kailash. Yes.
I'd just like to know everything about Chakra Samvara today.
Wow. It's Chakra Samvara is not exactly a historical being. So you won't find biographies of Chakra Samvara written that he performs such and such. He's, in his essence, he's a very Vajrayana deity. He's a Buddha, not exactly, low level deity. He's a complete enlightened Buddha, but the way he appears is in a very wrathful form, and it's difficult to talk about Chakra Samvara because there's so many different aspects. There are Chakra Samvara with 2 arms, 2 legs. There are Chakra Samvara with multiple arms, multiple legs. So Chakra Samvara is more of a practice than an actual, biographical deity that you can talk about. So Chakra Samvara is more of a practice. So to understand Chakra Samvara, it is better to practice Chakra Samvara, or at least enter the lineage where Chakra Samvara is practiced. So my lineage, Drukpa lineage, Chakra Samvara is our main principal deity, principal Buddha, and Chakra Samvara's consort, Vajrayogini, is the principal female Buddha. They're always in union. Sometimes they're separate, but even in a separate form, the male or the female is represented in a very hidden form. So, for example, Vajrayogini, there is a very famous aspect of Vajrayogini where she is standing in a dancing mudra, right leg down, left leg up, dancing mudra with a crooked knife in the hand, one couple full of blood. She is very wrathful. She has 3 eyes, 4 fangs, with a blood dripping skull, around 50 heads around her neck. So she looks very wrathful. She looks very, in a way, very, very, very scary. But if you read her tantra, even her 4 fangs represent, for example, the 4 freedom from the 4 maras, from the 4 evils. Yeah, 3 eyes represent seeing the 3 times. Yeah, able to see past, present, and future. So nothing is off limits to her. She can see everything. So she has so many different, even her aspect, just to visualize Vajrayogini or Chakra Samvara, it's like visualizing or conceptualizing the entire Buddhist teachings. So they're condensed in such a way, represented in a deity, as a human deity, human-like looking deity. But the moment you visualize them and you chant the mantras, you're basically trying to absorb all of Buddha's teachings in that very instant. So it's very, very powerful, very heavy, and obviously you need proper guidance until you reach, you become comfortable practicing that. So Vajrayogini, when she's in alone form, she has this Trishul, but it's not with a Trishul with the 3 points, it's a Trishul with a Vajra. And that is Chakra Samvara in a Trishul form that she's holding. We call it Vajra Trishul.
What is Vajra?
Vajra is